Hello children, welcome to AIMS India's online classes. In today's class we are going to discuss the various multiple choice questions from the chapter fractions and decimals. Coming to the level 1 questions, the first one is what part is shaded in the following figure? Now what is the figure given here? This is our figure and this figure is divided into 1, 2, 3. 3 total parts, so 3 becomes our denominator, out of which 2 are shaded. So this 2 becomes our numerator. So that is why our fraction that represents this given figure becomes 2 by 3. Only 2 parts out of the total 3 are shaded. So the correct answer becomes option D, 2 by 3. Next question 2. Find the difference between 3 by 4 and 2 by 4. Difference means the subtraction, right children? So we need to subtract these two fractions, 3 by 4 minus 2 by 4, and these two are like fractions having the same denominator 4. So we simply subtract the numerators and retain our common denominator. 3 minus 2, 1 divided by 4. So option C, 1 by 4 becomes the difference between 3 by 4 and 2 by 4. Next question 3. Martin read 3 by 8 of his book in the morning and 2 by 8 in the evening. What part of the book has he read? See, what are they saying? Suppose if you are confused by the fractions, you can take it as a whole number and understand the question. Say Martin read 3 pages of the book in the morning and 8 pages in the evening. Now how much did he read in total? How will you find out? You will add them. Yes children. So we'll add these fractions together. 3 by 8 plus 2 by 8. Now again these two are like fractions. So we'll simply add the numerators and keep the common denominator. 3 plus 2, 5 divided by 8. 5 by 8. Option B, 5 by 8. Martin has read 5 by 8 of the book. Next question 4. How many parts should be shaded in the figure 2 such that the fractional representation of the shaded part becomes, here these are two different words, becomes equivalent to the shaded part of the figure 1. Now first let us find out the fraction for figure 1 children. How many parts are shaded? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 are shaded. Out of what are the total? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 7 are shaded out of the 12 parts. Now if you look at figure 2, how many parts is it divided into? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 into 3 rows. 8 into 3 is equal to 24. In total, the figure 2 is divided into 24 parts. 7 by 12 and 24. This is the fraction for the figure 1, and for figure 2 we have to find out its equivalent fraction. Now we already know the denominator here is 24 for figure 2. How? Because the total number of parts it is divided into is 24. Yes, it is 24. So that 24 becomes our denominator. We have to find out the numerator. See, how can we get this 24 here? 12 into 2 is equal to 24. Yes children, in equivalent fractions, to find out the equivalent fractions, we multiply the numerator and denominator by the same number. Yes, so when we multiply the denominator by 2, we get 24, which is the denominator for the second figure. Now as we have multiplied the denominator by 2, we have to multiply the numerator also by 2. 7 into 2 is 14. So 14 becomes our numerator and 24 is our denominator. 14 by 24 is the equivalent fraction for 7 by 12. What is the equivalent fraction? 7 by 12 is the first fraction. 7 by 12, and here 14 by 24 is the equivalent fraction. Now out of this 24, How many should be shaded? The numerator, that is 14. 3, 6, 9, 12 and 14. Now we have shaded 14 out of 24 parts for the figure 2, and it is equivalent to the fraction 7 by 2, that is representing our figure 1. So how many parts did we shade, children? We shaded 14 parts. So option B, 14 becomes our correct answer. Is this clear? We simply found out the equivalent fraction 7 into 2 by 12 into 2. Next question 5. All the like fractions are also an improper fraction. All the unit fractions have same denominator. Who is correct? Now Jack is saying that all like fractions, what are like fractions? Say 1 by 4, 1 by 14, 2 by 14, 13 by 14, or say 19 by 14. All these fractions are having the same denominator. So these are called as like fractions. Now are all these improper fractions? Only 19 by 14 is an improper fraction wherein the numerator is greater than the denominator. Yes, the remaining 3 fractions are proper fractions. They are like fractions and also proper fractions. So the statement by Jack, that is all the like fractions are improper fractions, becomes false. Yes children, like fractions can be proper fractions or improper fractions. They are not all improper. So it is false. Coming to the Cody's statement, all the unit fractions have the same numerator. What are unit fractions, children? Unit fractions are those fractions which have 1 as their denominator. Now see, all these are our unit fractions, and do all these unit fractions have the same? I'm sorry, I said denominator, right? I'm sorry, here unit fractions have 1 as the numerator. Now, do all these unit fractions have the same numerator? Yes, all the given unit fractions are having the same numerator, that is 1. So, Cody's statement, what is Cody's statement? That all unit fractions have same numerator is correct. It is true. So, who is correct among Jack and Cody? Cody is correct. So, option B, Cody becomes our correct answer. Next question 6. The value of 1 plus 0.1 plus 0.01 plus 0.001 is. Now you might be worrying, here we are having a decimal point and the decimal part. What about the whole number part? See, if you look at the options, we are having a whole number part and a decimal part. But for these 3 decimal numbers, there is nothing given in the whole number part. So we have to write a 0 for our convenience. 0.1, 0.1 is nothing but 0.1, children. As it is 0, even if we write it or if we do not write it, the value will be same. Now we have our 4 numbers. What should we do? We should add them. We are having an addition symbol, right? So we should add them. 1, then we have 0.1. 1 is nothing but 1.0. If you want to write 1 as a decimal number, it can be written as 1.0. 0 in the decimal part. Because there are no decimal places for 1, we are writing 0 in the decimal part. Next 0.1, 0.01, 0.001. See children, all the decimal points are one below the other. This is our correct arrangement. Now when we add 1, 1, 1.1, 1.111 is our sum for the given numbers. Option B, 1.111 is the value of our statement. 1 plus 0.1 plus 0.01 plus 0.001. Now from this question, what did we learn new here? 1 is nothing but 1.0. 0.1 is nothing but 0.1. Here we had no whole number part, so we have written 0 in the whole number part. Here we are having no decimal part, so we have written 0 in the decimal part. So 0 can be used to represent when we have nothing. And this is our answer. I hope the question number 6 is clear, children. Next question 7. How many 25 paise coins make 17 rupee 25 paise? This is a division question. What question? Division question. We have already done many word problems like this. Say, what did we do? Suppose if we have 17 1725, 1725, we have 1725 roses and they have to be arranged in groups of 5. Now how many groups will be formed? What did we do? We divided these two. Yes, so here this 1725 is nothing but 17.25 paise, which have to be arranged in groups of 25 paise, which have to be arranged as 25 paise coins. So to find out how many 25 paise coins make 17 rupees 25 paise, we have to divide 17.25 divided by 0.25. 25 paise is written as 0.25. Yes, we are having 0 rupees and 25 paise. Now for the purpose of ease of division, we'll first convert it into fractions. 17.25 can be written as 1725 divided by 100, then divided by 0.25 can be written as 0.25 by 100. We have converted them into fractions. See, we are having 2 decimal places. So in the denominator we are having 2 zeros. Now we are having 2 fractions which are to be divided, children. We've already learned about the division of fractions, right? What did we do? The first fraction written as it is, then division becomes multiplication, and for the second fraction we write the reciprocal. 0.25 I am writing it as 25. Yes, both the values are same. So the second fraction 25 by 100, we write the reciprocal, that is 100 by 25. Now what will it be? I'll erase this here. Yes, it would be 1725 into 100 divided by 100 into 25. We have 100 ones are 100. Yes, both the hundreds get cancelled. Now what are we left with? 1725 divided by 25. This is what we are left with. Yes, so let us write the 25 table here. 25 ones are 25, 2s are 50, 3s are 75, 4s are 100, 25 5s are 125, 25 6s are 150, and 25 7s are 175. Now from this, here we want 172. 172 is not present in our 25th table. So what will we go, children? It lies between these two. It lies between 150 and 175. We'll go with the smaller number, 150. 25 6 are 150. Yes, 6 is written in the quotient and 150 is written below our dividend. Now the next step is to subtract. 2 minus 0 2, 7 minus 5 2, 1 minus 1 0. Now bringing the other digit down, we have 225. Here we have 25 8s are 200 and 25 9s are 225. We are having the exact number here. So 25 9s are, 9 becomes our quotient, 225 written here. Again we need to subtract them together. Yes, 225 minus 225, 0 will be our remainder. So 1725 divided by 25 is nothing but 69. Now what is this 69? 69 25 paise coins are needed to make 17 rupees 25 paise coin, 25 paise. Understood, children? If you have 69 what coins? If you have 69 25 paise coins, the total value would be of 17 rupees 25 paise. So option B 69 becomes our correct answer. I hope this is clear. Next question 8. Find the product of 6031.001 into 100. Now what are they saying here? We are having two decimal numbers which we have to multiply and find out the answer. We have not dealt with multiplication of decimal numbers. Yes, 6031.001 divided by multiplied by 100. Okay children, we know that we did not cover multiplication of decimal numbers in our chapter, but multiplication of decimal numbers is very easy. We already know how to multiply whole numbers, right? Yes, so in the same way multiply these two also as whole numbers without the decimal point. Understood? Here we are having the decimal point 0.001, but for the purpose of multiplication you can simply forget that there is a decimal point. Now start multiplying. 1 zeros are everything becomes 0 only, right? 0 into everything. Then for the second line, before multiplying we have to place 1 0 here. Then again 0 into everything becomes 0 itself. So 0 will be our product. Again for the third digit 1, before multiplying we need to place 2 zeros. Again 1 into 1, 1 zeros are 0. Again 1 zeros are 0. 1 ones are 1, 1 threes are 3, 1 zeros are 0 and 1 six are 6. So these are our partial products. Let us add and see all the zeros. 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 3, 6, 0, 6. So this is our product. Yes, this is our product of the given two numbers. But what are we missing here? We have to consider the fact that there is a decimal number. There is a decimal number here. It is having a decimal point. Now can you count the number of decimal places, children? We have 1, 2, 3 decimal places. After 3 digits from the right, we are having our decimal point. So even for our given or for the product, we need to place a decimal point after 3 digits from the right. Understood? After counting 3 digits, 1, 2, 3. After counting 3 digits from the right, we have to place our decimal point. Let me erase this here. So now this becomes our product of given decimal number and the whole number. What is the product here, children? 6,03,100.100, or simply you can write 0.1. Yes, these two zeros after the decimal point to the extreme left, no matter to the extreme right, no matter how many zeros we have, its value will be none. So this, the product of the given two numbers is this. Understood? How did we multiply the given decimal number? We just multiplied it as a normal whole number, but for the final product we have placed the decimal point. Don't forget to place the decimal point in the product. After 3 digits from the right, we are having the decimal point. So even in our product, after 3 digits from the right, we have placed our decimal point. So 6,03,001. What was the answer, children? 6,03,100.1 is our answer of the given two, of the multiplication of given two numbers. That is nothing but our option A. Understood, children? 6,03,000. Was it? Yes, 6,03,100.1. Option A becomes our correct answer. Coming to question B. Subtract 3,128.996 minus 421.468. Now this question is our subtraction of decimal numbers. So first let us arrange the decimal numbers. 421 minus 0.468. We have to subtract them. 6 minus 8 is not possible, so borrowing. 16 minus 8, 8. 8 minus 6, 2. 9 minus 5, 9 minus 4, 5. Then we are having the decimal point. 8 minus 1, 7. 2 minus 2, 0. 1 minus 4 is not possible, borrowing. 11 minus 4, 7, and then 2. So this is the difference between the given two decimal numbers, that is 2707.528. Option A is the correct answer. Clear, children? Next question 10. Amelia makes a figure and divides it into some equal parts. Now she shades few parts, thus decimal representation for the shaded part is 0.03. How many parts of the figure is unshaded? Now what is this question? Understand it carefully. What did our Amelia do? She took a figure and divided it into some parts. Understood? Divided it into some equal parts, and then she shaded a few of the parts, and that shaded part represents the decimal number 0.03. What does it represent? 0.03. How do we represent 0.03 as a fraction, children? Write the number without the decimal point, divided by, write 1, count the number of decimal places. The number has 2 decimal places, so after 1 we'll write 2 zeros. 003 by 100 is nothing but 3 by 100. Now what is this? It represents the fraction for the shaded part. What can you say from this, children? That the denominator is the total number of parts. In total, Amelia has divided the figure into 100 parts, and out of which only 3 are shaded. Are you able to understand what does the fraction 3 by 100 mean? 3 by 100 means that there are in total 100 shapes, out of which 3 are shaded. Now from 100 only 3 are shaded. In the question they have asked us to find out the number of unshaded parts. Now what will be the unshaded parts? Yes, very good. From the total number of parts we have to subtract the shaded parts. 100 minus 3 is equal to 97. So from 100 parts 3 are shaded and 97 are unshaded. Option C, 97 becomes our correct answer. 97 parts of the figure is unshaded. Next question 11. Represent the shaded part of the following figures of fraction and choose what kind of fractions they are. Now we are having two figures here. We have to present the shaded part as a fraction. 1, 2, 3, 4. We are having 4 shaded parts divided by 5, 6, 7, 8. In total we are having 8 parts. So 4 by 8 is the fraction for figure 1. Coming to figure 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 shaded parts divided by, in total, 7 parts. So 5 by 7 is the fraction that represents the shaded part of figure 2. Now let us look at the options. Option A, they are like fractions. What are like fractions, children? Like fractions have the same denominator. Now do these two fractions have same denominators? No. So option A becomes wrong. Next, coming to option B, they are unlike fractions. Now are these two unlike fractions? Yes, because both the denominators are different. So option B becomes our correct answer. What can we say about the given two figures, children? The fractions are unlike fractions. Why are they unlike? Because they do not have the same denominator. Next question 12. Which one of the following is the equivalent fraction of 7 by 8? Now what does equivalent fraction means? Both the numerator and denominator should be multiplied by the same number. Now if you take 9 by 8 for example, can 7 by 8 be equal to 9 by 8, children? No. See, if I here the denominator is same. Yes, the denominator is unchanged, so the numerator should also have been the same, but it's not the same, so option A is wrong. Coming to option B, 7 by 9. Again the numerator here is the same, the numerator is multiplied by 1. So the denominator should also have been multiplied by 1, but it has not been multiplied by 1. So option B is also not our equivalent fraction. Coming to option C, 35 by 40. 35 by 40. How will we get 35, children? 7 into 5 is equal to 35. Yes, so as we have multiplied the numerator by 5, we will multiply the denominator also by 5. 7 5s are 35 divided by 8 5s are 40. So 35 by 40 is our equivalent fraction of 7 by 8. Yes, when we multiplied the fraction by 5, both numerator and denominator by 5, we got our equivalent fraction 35 by 40. Next question 13. Jack is saying that 7 by 9 and 7 by 13 are like fractions as both have the same numerator. And Cody says to be like fractions, denominators of the fractions should be same instead of numerator. Now who is correct? Jack is wrong. Cody is correct. Option B, Cody is correct. Why? Because yes, to be like fractions, the denominator should be same. Here the denominators are different, so they are not like fractions. Cody is incorrect. Cody is correct and Jack is incorrect. Next question 14. Represent the yellow part in the following figure as fraction and find its one equivalent fraction. Now what is the fraction for yellow in this? We are having 2 yellows. So 2 becomes the numerator divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In total we are having 5 parts. So 2 by 5 is the fraction for our given figure. Now which one among the given options is the equivalent fraction? The first one is 22 by 60. Yes children, the first one is 22 by 60. How can we check? Okay, how can we get 22? 2 into 11 is equal to 22. Okay, now as I have multiplied the numerator by 11, I have to multiply the denominator also by 11. 5 into 11 is equal to 55. But here we are having 60. So this is wrong. Option A is not the equivalent fraction. Option B, 4 by 20. Now again, how will we get 4? 2 into 2 is equal to 4. So even for the denominator, we have to multiply by 2. 5 into 2 is equal to 10. But here we are having 20. So again, option B is also our wrong answer. Coming to option C, 6 by 20. Again, how will we get 6 children? 2 into 3 is equal to 6. So even the denominator is to be multiplied by 3. 2 into 3 is equal to 6. So multiplying the denominator also by 3. 5 into 3, 15. But here we are having 20. So again option C is also not the equivalent fraction for the given one. Option D, none, becomes the correct answer. That means out of the given options, no option is the equivalent fraction for the given part. Understood? So none, option D, none, becomes our correct answer. And coming to the last question for today, question number 15. In which of the following figures shaded part represents 1 by 5? So what should we find out? We should find out the fraction for the shaded parts. For option A, we are having 2 shaded parts out of 5. So 2 by 5 becomes the correct answer. Option B, 1 shaded part out of 4. So it's 1 by 4. Coming to option C, we have 1 shaded part out of 5. So 1 by 5 is the answer. And option C becomes our correct answer. And even if you want to look at option D, the fraction is 4 by 6. So which one of the following figures is shaded? Which one of the following figures shaded part represents 1 by 5? Option C. The figure in option C is shaded part represents 1 by 5. So option C becomes this. We've come to the end of today's class, children. I hope addition and subtraction of all the three different types of fractions, that is like fractions, unlike fractions, and